to be said right at the offset, right in the beginning, onset. The first of those things is, you and I can never judge someone as a hypocrite. We don't have that right. It doesn't matter how clear their actions are. You and I just do not have the right, we don't have the license to call anyone a hypocrite. This religion did not give us that sanction, that justification. It does not exist. Interestingly enough, there are two kinds of hypocrites. There are two kinds of hypocrites. Hypocrites that know that they're not Muslim. They already know they're not Muslim. They're only pretending to be Muslim, like spies or something like that. That's the kind of hypocrite, if he gets exposed and he admits, then obviously you can call him a hypocrite. But the kind of hypocrite the second kind, the scarier kind, is the hypocrite who has no idea that he or she is a munafiq. They're a hypocrite. That's the scarier kind. That could be any one of us. None of us are safe. None of us are safe from that. The first thing is, we can't judge anybody as a hypocrite. The second thing is, you can't keep yourself safe from that label. You can't assume, and I can't assume, that I'm safe from hypocrisy. You can't. The Prophet told us, "Ma aminahu illa munafiqun wa ma khafahu illa mu'minun." Nobody feels safe from it except a hypocrite. Nobody's afraid of it except a believer. To be a believer, you must be afraid of hypocrisy. It's a catch-22. So we're never going to feel safe. The first thing was, you can't judge. The second thing is, you can't even make a judgment about yourself, whether you're safe or not. You can't. So it's a constant struggle inside the conscience of a believer. The third thing that's essential about, just some basics about hypocrisy, is that this will always be there. And the symptoms will always be there. You'll see them in people, you'll see them in attitudes, but you're still not going to be allowed to say. And that's the last thing I'm gonna say. You might find some things Allah describes and you say, I can think of someone who does that. Right? So clearly, according to the Quran, this guy is you can't do that. Even if it's 100% clear, you can't do it. But let me give you an example. Osama bin Zayd radiallahu anhu, the Prophet loved him dearly, like a grandson. He loved him a lot. He was on the battlefield one time, and he got into a fight with a non-Muslim. The non-Muslim lost his sword and fell. When he falls, he figures, I need to save my skin. So he says, La ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. He becomes a Muslim. Of course, a Muslim cannot kill another Muslim. Osama bin Zayd is stuck. But he's thinking to himself, man, wait, a second ago you were ready to kill me. And it's not like I was giving you a great khutbah to convince you of Islam. You tripped, fell, and lost your sword, and all of a sudden you got knocked on your head, and Islam made sense to you? That's what it is? Nah, this guy is faking it. The moment I say Salaam alaikum salam, he's going to pick up his sword and stab me. I better end this right now. He goes, yeah, right. And he kills him. The Prophet found out, and this is, by the way, you can't get a more clear-cut case than this. If you're going to say some guy is not genuinely a Muslim, that would be like the most, what are you talking about, you're a Muslim? You tried to kill me. What are you talking about? You think I'm that dumb? So he did it, and when the Prophet found out, he was really upset. And the two narrations, one in Muslim, one in Bukhari, scary narrations. Did you open his heart and see whether he meant it or not? In that clear-cut case, the Prophet says, did you open his heart and see? And then in the other narration, he says, what will you do when that La ilaha illallah comes after you on Judgment Day? It'll complain about you. Man, if that clear-cut case does not give Osama bin Zayd the license to do what he did, you and I do not have the license. There's not going to be a more clear-cut case to label someone a munafiq. We just don't have that right. So when we read these things, there's the hypocritical attitude. I can think of someone who fits this exactly. Oh my God. Yep, that's him. I'm going to write a blog about him. Or, is this me? The believer's attitude as he's reading these things is this me? Not anybody else. I'll tell you one last thing about this matter. What justifies you saying, is this me? There was an assassination attempt